Hey everyone, welcome to Professor Long's Lectures in Anatomy and Physiology. I'm Professor Bob Long. Again, if you're watching these videos, you're either in my class, so learn what I teach, the way that I teach it, and follow along in the note set. That's what you need to know for the test, for lecture. If you're not in my class, then you need to learn all the information that your instructors want you to know, but hopefully this information helps you learn it and understand it a little better. If you like my videos, please hit like and subscribe if you find them helpful. If you have any questions, you can always email me at blong@delmar.edu. So if you're my student or if you're not my student, blong@delmar.edu. Shoot me an email, ask me a question, provide me some constructive criticism. I know these videos are crude because I don't have sophisticated equipment or the time to do this the right way. So I'm doing it fast so that my students can get their information. Now, we are in a series of lectures on tissues. We've been covering all the tissues, and we've started covering the integumentary system, the skin. We just went over the epidermis and all the different layers of the epidermis, and we went over skin pigmentation. Now we're going to move down into the dermis, and we're going to finish up the skin tissue and be ready for wrapping up this entire unit of information. So if you're following along in my notes set, we're on page 37, about halfway down. We're going to talk about the dermis. We know that the dermis is deep to the epidermis. It is the second layer of skin. It's made up of several different types of tissues. There's some dense, irregular connective tissue. There's some adipose tissue. There's a couple of regions of the skin. You can read about the papillary and the reticular regions. The papillary layer is a lot of loose connective tissue. It's right underneath the basement membrane, and it does a lot of connection of the epidermis down to the underlying connective tissues. It also results in what we call dermal ridges, which is like your fingerprints and the prints on your toes. So in the papillary region, one of the things that happens is this. Well, I don't want to go into that. The next layer is the reticular region. We know that's the deep portion of the dermis. It's made up of some dense irregular connective tissue and some adipose. It has lots of glands and ducts in it. Okay. The subcutaneous layer is not part of the skin. It is adipose tissue. It's the hypodermis. It is the subcutaneous layer. It's also called the superficial fascia. You need to know all three names. And it does a lot of stabilization of your skin. You guys need to look up about hair and nails. So we're going to talk about the hair and the nails and the glands in our skin. Sebaceous glands are the glands that secrete an oil in our skin. So here's what you need to know about sebaceous glands. Sebaceous glands are called sebaceous glands because they secrete an oil called sebum. That sebum, that oil, prevents your skin from drying and cracking. It keeps some moisture to our skin. The sebaceous glands, if they secrete too much oil, then you have really oily skin. Now, if we're looking at the surface of our skin, those sebaceous glands are always near a hair follicle and associated with hair follicles. As the hair follicle passes by here, the sebaceous glands are kind of hanging off the side of a hair follicle. And one thing that can happen is if you don't clean your skin enough, or if you keep too much makeup on and you don't wash your makeup before you go to bed, I take all my makeup off. Just kidding. If you get oil and dirt and debris and makeup and all this junk compacted in here, it can seal off the ducts of the glands so nothing can get out. And bacteria can get in here also, and those bacteria will feed on those lipids and the carbohydrates in the cells in here and create an infected sebaceous gland, which we call a zit or a pimple. So most of the zits or pimples in your body are infected sebaceous glands, oil glands, and they're clogged and get lots of bacteria in them. So you can clean them. If you clean your skin regularly, you can sometimes decrease the formation of pimples. Now, our hormones, testosterone if you're male, estrogen and progesterone if you're female, can stimulate a lot of the production of these oils And so sometimes when females are cycling through the estrus cycle, through the estrogen and progesterone in the female menstrual cycle, then usually part of PMS is you get lots of zits and lots of pimples and lots of oil secretion in your skin. Okay, so know that. Now we're going to be doing apricorn glands. Hello. Can y'all give me about 5 minutes, or you can come sit in. I'm finishing up a lecture. I'm doing some video lectures, and I'm going to leave in about 5 minutes. You're welcome to come sit down. Okay. So since I'm into this video, I'm not going to stop it, but we had someone walk in the room. Anyway, apricorn and merocrine sweat glands are sweat glands. Make sure you understand those. Make sure you...
We'll go find another one. Okay?
No, I'll be done in 5 minutes. So make sure you know apricorn and merocrine sweat glands. Ceruminous glands are the glands in your ear that secrete cerumen, which is oil. It's more of a waxy oil, and it prevents bugs and things from getting in your ear and getting trapped. You guys need to look up the section on the hyponychium, the nail bed, the lateral nail groove, and you need to finish out the note sets on your own. I'm not going to cover those with you. You can read about them in the chapter of the book, look them up on your phone, and that will wrap up this unit on skin and tissues. Make sure you learn this information. Do it till you can't stand it. Do it till you understand it. Do it till you can teach it to somebody else. I hope you had as much fun as I did. See you in the next video.